Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to math class with me, Miss Taylor. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get started. Do we have our fact practice packet? Check. Textbook? Check. Workbook? Check. Paper, pencil, or whiteboard? Mhm. If you don't have these things, pause the video and get those things and come right back. So we are starting on our fact practice like we usually do. And today for fact practice, we are on page 12. So on page 12 in our packets, we are practicing multiplying by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. All right, so what I would recommend that you do before you even begin writing your answers is to use this extra space down here at the bottom to write your threes facts. So that would be a really prudent idea. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. In fact, I'm going to add 0 because this is 3 times 0, right? This is 3 times 0. And this is 3 times 1. And this is 3 times 2. Okay, so if we know these facts, we are going to be able to answer all of these, except we need to, actually, I should do 3 times 11, 33, and then 36. So if you wanted to write each fact in here, you could do that, or just to write your skip counting, and that kind of just helps us to memorize those. And then we can go ahead and do 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And remember, as we go, we're adding 3. 3 times 3 is 9, 12. So we're adding 3. We can think about our song, of course, 3, 6, 9. Or you can think about 3 plus 3 plus 3. This one would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 4 times. All right. So it would be a prudent idea to kind of do one column and then to check our answers, because if we kind of make one little mistake here and then we don't want to make it on all these columns. So we should probably check our work. That would be a prudent idea. There we go. All right. So I'm going to do one column and then I'm going to check the backside. Oh, look at this. I can fold my paper and check it like this way. Ooh, nice. All right, looks good. So you are going to do the same one. If you wanted more of a little challenge, you could pop around, because right now they're all in order. Makes it a little easier when things are in order. But if you thought, oh, I want a little bit more of a challenge, Miss Taylor, you could pop around and do like, 3 times 7 and 3 times 4 and 3 times 10. Another thing you can do to challenge yourself is to get a timer. So get like a little timer, or ask someone in your family or an adult to help you to time yourself and see if you can get a little bit faster. So if you've already memorized these, that's great. Now see if you can get a little faster. Okay, so for today, we are going to work on a little bit of division. So in our textbooks, we are going to be looking at page 116. It looks like this. We're on page 116, and we are going to do a little dividing. So most of the time, we have been doing a lot of practice with multiplying. But if we know our multiplication facts, then we also know our division facts, because they all work together as a fact family, don't they? Okay, so we are going to work on dividing. And dividing is another way of saying equal sharing, or sharing something equally. So here, and I'm kind of looking and thinking about, okay, so here's a picture and there's 2 vases with some flowers. Put 6 flowers equally into 2 vases. Okay, so if we imagine these 2 vases were empty and we had 6 flowers, we could put 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, until we run out of flowers. So if you imagine, okay, well, if I'm holding 6 flowers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we see our answer is how many flowers are in each vase. And we can write that as a division equation this way. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay. And she is thinking about the multiplication fact that kind of matches this problem. 3 times 2 is 6. So if you know 3 times 2 is 6, then you can figure out 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So it kind of makes me think about our fact family. So this little girl is thinking, well, I know 3 times 2. If we know our multiplication facts, then we can think about, well, let's see, we know what a fact family is. So if 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 3 is also 6. Remember the commutative property, the order doesn't matter. So when we multiply, we get our answer is the whole number. When we divide, we have to start with the whole number. And then we put our little divided by, our division symbol looks like a minus sign with a little dot on the top and a dot on the bottom. So 6 divided by 2, well, let's see, I used the number 6 and I used 2. The number left is 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. There's one more division equation we can make. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Yeah. So again, when we're thinking about our fact family, whenever we multiply, our answer is the whole number. But when we divide, it's kind of like when we subtract. When we divide and subtract, we always start with the whole number. So it's the opposite. All right, so here for this one, you can see they've given us the number 6 and the number 2. Put 6 flowers equally into 2 vases. So we're kind of sharing 6 flowers equally. So that would be this one. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And then our answer is how many in each. All right, let's see. What about if we put 10 flowers equally into 2 vases? Well, if we put 10 flowers into 2, that would be 10 divided by 2. And if we are thinking about a fact family for that one, we could be thinking like this person is thinking, well, I know 5 times 2 equals 10. In other words, you're looking at this number and thinking, well, 2 times what makes 10? So we could think about, well, we know 5 times 2 equals 10. We can switch the order. 2 times 5 equals 10. So there's our whole number, right, when we're multiplying. And then when we divide, we're going to start with the whole number. I can make 2 division equations, but we start with the whole number. Whenever we divide, we start with the whole number. Here we go. So 10 divided by 2, well, I know 5 times 2 is 10, so 10 divided by 2 must be this other number, 5. And 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Remember, we're using the same 3 numbers, 5, 2, 10. 5, 2, 10, just in a different order. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's see if that would make sense. 5 here and 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And remember, when we divide, the groups have to be equal. All right, so let's see. And on this side, so again, they're helping us to sort of see the connection between multiplication and division. So they work together as a fact family. If you have 3 times 2 equals 6, there's our whole number 6. Now we know that 6 divided by 2 is 3. We also know 6 divided by 3 is 2. So there's kind of a couple facts that we can, we know if we know our multiplication facts. 5 times 2 is 10. If we know that fact, then we know 10 divided by 2 is 5. We also know 10 divided by 5 equals 2. All right, so really thinking about that connection, how we can use multiplication to help us when we divide. If we know 4 times 2 is 8, what's 8 divided by 2? Hmm, Well, there's 8 divided by 2. It must be this other number, 4. Yeah, and we can see 4 and 4. So 8 divided by 2, we have 8 altogether as our whole number, divided by 2, and in this picture it looks like 2 groups. So our answer is 4. There are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So this one, we have 7. 7 times 2, 7, 7, 7 times 2 equals 14. So what's 14 divided by 2? If you had 14 and you wanted to divide them or share them equally into 2 groups, our answer is how many in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, using the same 3 numbers, 7 to 14. 14 divided by 2 must be 7 because that's our other number. All right, so second graders, our homework for today, keep thinking about division and how we can use multiplication to help us with our division facts. Our homework for today is pages 148 and 149. So on page 148, we are, again, making the connection between multiplication and division and thinking about when we multiply, our answer is always the whole number. So 1 times 2 is 2. But when we divide, we start with the whole number. So we're starting with the whole number. And then we're dividing by, so this one, if 1 times 2 is 2, 2 divided by 2 equals, well, let's think about what numbers have we used. We used 2. We used 2. Did we use 1? No. So our answer is 1. And you can think about that as, well, if I had two things and I divided them into 2 groups, there would be 1 in each group. 1 and 1. All right. What about this one? 5 times 2 is 10. 10 divided by 2. Let's see, here's my whole number. And then I'm going to start with my whole number. 10 divided by 2, let's see, 10 divided by 2, it must be 5. So if I had 10 fingers and I divided them into 2 equal groups, my answer is how many in each group? 5. 5. All right. So that is how we're going to do this page. And then on this page, we are just kind of doing a little bit of matching. 6 divided by 2. Well, and remember, you can think about, so for this one, I would think, this is what I would be thinking. 2 times what equals 6? 6 divided by 2, I'm thinking 2 times something equals 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, yes. And then we connect the dot. 2 divided by 2, I could be thinking about 2 times what equals 2? 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. This one, 10 divided by 2, I could be thinking 2 times what equals 10? 2 times, let's see, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. All right, so that is how you do that page, second graders. So continue thinking about how we can use multiplication to help us when we divide. So they are inverse operations. Ooh, fancy word for opposites. Just like adding and subtracting are opposites, they're inverse operations. Multiplication and division are also inverse operations, and we can use one to help us with the other, kind of help us to check. All right, have a wonderful day, mathematicians. I'll see you again soon. Bye.